So I graduated from a liberal arts college with English and philosophy degrees, and I didn't know what to do with them. So I worked as a technical writer for a little bit, just trying to pay the bills. And a friend recommended, because I was bored, a friend recommended that I start freelancing for this little game site. At the time called Game Sided, now it's called App Trigger. I started doing that. I did that for a couple of years. I went to an E3. I fell in love with it. And so I started really pushing myself. I was still working as a technical writer, but I started pushing myself to like to write better and to write more. I started pitching a whole lot more freelance articles to a lot of different places. I started applying for jobs. And then in 2018, I think that's right, I got hired at gamesindustry.biz, which is specifically a B2B site. And so I didn't have any journalism specifically experience. I'd mostly been blogging up to that point. But they hired me at entry level, and I had several wonderful mentors there who specifically trained me both in journalism skills, but in specifically like B2B journalism. So like covering the business of games, covering like the development side, covering the industry side, as opposed to just sort of like churning out game announcements or whatever. So I did that for 3 years. I ended up getting hired at IGN specifically as a reporter. So now I do a little bit of everything. I do a little bit of the blogging stuff. I still do the industry deep dive stuff, and I do investigative reporting because that's kind of become my bread and butter over time. So I've been there for almost 5 years. I think something that is easy to forget is that we're not game developers. I guess that sounds silly, but what I mean is we're not part of the games industry. Like we are part of the media industry, we're in journalism, but we're not part of the games industry. And I think some people like sort of conflate the two or get confused on that point. Like it is our job to try to cover and understand it from the outside. And that's important because like developers who are in the thick of it, they can't always from their positions get the answers and the truth that they deserve to have, right? Like if you're at a job and there's something going on but you don't know what it is, you can't just go and start like demanding that your boss give you answers because you're going to lose your job. So it's really important to have journalists who can ask questions from the outside without risking their jobs to do that, because it's literally their job to ask questions, to be able to sort of get that information for people and bring it out into the light. There's lots of different forms that takes. I think the other thing that's really important is like, sorry, I don't know how I'm explaining this.
It's okay.
it we're also there to sort of synthesize the information. So like, everybody in the industry has a different perspective. There's developers, there's publishers, there's PR people, there's people on the social side, there's people who are artists, there's freelancers, there's full-time workers. Like everybody has all these different jobs. From the outside perspective, you have a better viewpoint from which to sort of synthesize all the different perspectives to gather information from a lot of different sources and then present it in like a useful and helpful way so that people can make informed decisions about whatever it is they need to make decisions on, whether that's, how they work or how they approach things, or, just knowing the truth. It's important for people to know the truth. So yeah, that, I guess.
Thank you. Okay, from your reporting, how have you seen crunch culture manifest differently in indie studios compared to AAA environments?